Hey everyone, welcome to part 23 of this Baldur's Gate 3 trophy and achievement walkthrough. We are in the Moonrise Towers heading upstairs to advance the story. This place does have a lot of good side content. There's Roa Moonglow, the Zhentarim merchant, who you can purchase some good equipment from, and there's also a woman who wants Astarion to drink her blood. He won't like it very much, but you do get a permanent +2 bonus to strength via a potion that she gives you. So the choice is yours, but we're heading upstairs for this cutscene.
General Thorn's prayers and preparations must not be disturbed. The rooftop is off limits to everyone.
Even you, Disciples Realm?
Everyone. Keep watch and ensure that nobody passes. Excellent timing, true soul. The goblins. Tell me how they suffered. No, better yet, show me.
Her mind enters yours abruptly, flickering across your memories in a blaze of excitement. She sees the goblins walking free, and a burning rage fans across your mind like wildfire.
Explain yourself.
Persuasion. They won't get far. Let the curse take them and save us the job of cleaning up their innards. That gets us a skill check looking for a 16. Not so hard, especially when we have an advantage on our side. So let's roll it and move on.
Very pragmatic, but very boring. Let's see if there's anything interesting in this brain of yours.
She parts the folds of your mind again, touching your wants and hopes, tasting them. Every emotion soaks into her mind's palate. But there is purpose to her exploration. She is searching for proof of your faith.
At this point, you can really choose whichever one you want to, but I'm going to say Monk. Empty your mind, show her a perfect, harmonious soul.
You feel her grasp within your thoughts for familiar, roiling zealotry. It finds no purchase.
Simply void. But why? Why would you not embrace her, worship her? I have already been blessed to stand in her presence. It was bliss. She gave me everything I wanted.
Show me the power she gave you.
Why not? What's the point in power if you don't get to have a little fun every now and again? She gave me the power to cut the thread of life with a thought. But I can caress as well as cut. That's why you should stay on my good side. And the best way to do that is to serve General Thorn. I have a mission for you.
That's it. Play along. The closer you can get to the General, the closer you'll be to the answers you seek.
I live to serve. What do I need to do?
There is a relic that General Thorn requires. He sent his most trusted advisor, disciple Balthazar, to retrieve it. The relic is beneath the Thorn family mausoleum. That is where you will find Balthazar. But we have lost contact with him. Go there, aid Balthazar if you can, and bring the relic home.
Understood. I'm ready to head out.
The shadows around the mausoleum are deep and hungry. You'll need a moon lantern to survive them. Take one from Balthazar's chambers. But don't pry. The last person who snooped into his secrets lost their head. I believe he uses it as a chamber pot.
So as I said earlier, there's a lot of good side content around here if you want to do it. It's all optional. So feel free to do any of that before we go to this next location, because once we do that, we won't be able to come back. It's going to change the world. And ultimately what we want to do is head really far up north here, just kind of go straight up, and that's the way that we have to go to advance the story. So let's travel to the Moonrise Towers waypoint, and that will take us a little bit closer to our destination. And once we get there, we're just going to start running straight north from this location. It is quite a long run, so I am going to speed up the footage just to go 2 times as fast, and hopefully that will get us there a little bit quicker. We're just going to keep going all the way north until we get to a building that will be straight ahead of us as we go. Inside of that building there are 2 sarcophagi. Feel free to explore inside of them. The sarcophagus on the right-hand side only has a bone inside of it, so that's not really worth exploring, but the one on the left side contains the Ice Bite robe. It is a piece of magical armor for us, so feel free to grab that. It's not really important for anything or any trophies or achievements, but it is kind of a nice, interesting piece of armor. As we make our way around the building heading north, there are some stairs in front of us. When you get the update showing that the Chosen of Shar journal has been updated, put Astarion into your party if he's not in there already, because we need to advance his questline a little bit more. So head up until you get into a cutscene with Raphael.
Our hero thought but of treasure ahead, did not consider the peace of the dead. Through the dark he went creeping, and awoke what was sleeping. A new grave they dug, which he himself fed.
A warning, no less. Don't tell me you're worried about me.
Merely protecting my assets. I've grown quite fond of you, you know, in my way. I thought it only fair to warn you about the dangers ahead.
What dangers are those?
Oh, we both know they are soon to be revealed. It would be pointless of me to try to bar you from entering. But I can set the scene, as it were. Prepare you for your role.
Fine. Paint me a picture.
There is a stage down in the dark, upon which a great drama has suspended itself in time. Its actors dwell there still, mired in the languor of their long tired scenes. If you, however, through the dark, go creeping and awake what is sleeping, chances are many more graves than yours alone will soon be fed.
Persuasion. Paint me a clearer picture than that. We get a skill check looking only for a 10. It should be very easy for us to pass this one.
Very well. There is a creature that lurks in silence and shadow. A creature who, like me, is very much of the infernal persuasion. Should it make its way out through the very doors you are about to brazenly swing open, you'll have unleashed a pestilence upon this realm. In truth, it is carnage incarnate. So if you meet the devil of which I speak, kill it. Consider no other course of action.
Insight. You're still only telling me half of what you really know. I can tell. Another skill check looking for a 10, just as easy as the last one. So let's roll it and get this one.
This creature and I go back a long way. I admit it would be in my best interest as well should it remain trapped in the dark. Or misplace its head, perhaps? I should not relish its reacquaintance. Let's leave it at that.
Fair enough.
You have it in you to author a thrilling finale if you heed this warning. Do not underestimate this opponent. At best, you will have the blink of an eye to strike. Strike first, strike true, defy the odds, for they are distinctly in its favor. That much I owe the bastard to concede. And don't think I've forgotten your tale, Astarion. When the beast is dead, I'll consider that payment enough to translate those scars of yours.
A fairer deal than I expected.
You wound me, Spawn. I always deal fairly. And will close this particular deal soon enough. Vanquish the beast, and all will be revealed.
Alright, that's very interesting. Sounds like we've got a fun time ahead of us. Now let's go straight ahead and into the Mausoleum entrance. From here, we're going to make sure that we have Astarion because we need to do a little bit of sneaking around some traps, and he's very good at finding those. So run forward and through the iron fence, then just keep running straight ahead past this area, and then you'll go down a little bit further, and all of a sudden you'll get a pop-up showing that the journal has been updated for the Find Ketheric Thorm's relic. At this point, what you want to do is to separate Astarion from the rest of your party, and then we're going to go around this room, and there are 3 things that we have to interact with to get past these traps. So walk very carefully. Start by going to the left side as you go in, and there's going to be a button here right by this mural. Let's go ahead and use that button. Now go across the doorway to the other side, and we're going to use the button over here. So now with these 2 buttons activated, we're going to sneak our way around these traps. Now some of them do nothing, which is great for us, but if you push the buttons in the wrong order, then you'll have some troubles. Well, now that those 2 buttons are pressed, we're going to press the button in the middle of the opposite wall, and pushing them in that order will open up the doorways and let you go into this back area. Now all we have to do is to get our group back together, so go ahead and regroup them. They're going to run across this area, and they should be just fine going across. So once your group has come back together, you want to run ahead onto this little platform and use the traversal gem to continue on. We are now down inside the Gauntlet of Shar. All we have to do is run straight forward. This is just straight north down the hallway, and you'll go through the door on the far side. Let's open up this big stone door, and that will take us into a room that's a big puzzle room. Ultimately, we want to get into this middle area so that we can grab a gem that's on that like purple pedestal area right by the statue. And we normally can't get into that area without solving this puzzle, and it would be going around and making sure all the lights are turned off in this room. There's lots of traps and everything, but if you walk forward, you can't get to it because you are supposed to solve the puzzle. However, there is a much easier way that you can get this without having to waste all of your time solving this puzzle or activating any of those traps. All you need is someone who has Misty Step. So once you have someone like that, you just want to separate them from the rest of your party, and then you want to Misty Step directly over to this Umbral Gem. When you do that, you don't want to move anywhere, you just want to instantly interact with that Umbral Gem, and you will deactivate all the traps, and then you can regroup your party, and you'll be able to proceed on from here. As you're leaving, you can go out one of 2 ways. If you go toward the left, which is toward the west side, there's a staircase, and then there's like a jumping puzzle over some mushrooms. There's a difficult invisible enemy and a treasure over that way, but I'm just going to go out the other way through the north exit, and then that's going to take us into a hallway. When we go up, we'll get a little bit of cutscene and a battle will ensue, so make sure that you're healed up and you've saved the game, and then head on up the stairs.
You do not belong here.
Your mind upends. Somehow, in the decayed soup of this creature's brain, a tadpole lives. Another presence nurtures it, manipulates it like a puppet.
No, you do not belong. This is the Dark Lady's house. She is no use for old, faithless bones.
You plunder. You meddle. You upset my plans. Leave.
3 corpses sharing one personality? Who or what am I speaking to?
I am their creator. I saved them from life. From death. From their skin and their flesh. Now they serve me. Leave before... Stupid worm-infested cockhead! You have awoken the shadows! My forces are split. The defenses are thin. Rally on me. A wall of bone and blade against the darkness. Now!
Okay, here we have a fight. It's not terribly difficult, but there is a trick to it. You'll see these kind of purple and black portal things. They're called umbral tremors. You need to take those out first, because if one of those exists and you take out an enemy, the enemy is just going to come back to life, or I guess come back to undeath out of that portal. So make sure that you attack all of those things first and get rid of them, and then you can proceed with taking out the enemies nearby. So there's going to be one on the side. You saw the monk take that one out. There's going to be another one on the far side way down the hallway, so use some range attacks to take that one out a little bit quicker. And then there's another one more just straight ahead. So once you take out all three of those, you don't have any more risk of the enemy respawning, so go ahead and take them out. They're not difficult either. They don't have a whole lot of HP and they don't do a lot of damage to you, so this should only take a couple minutes to get through this fight. I'm just going to skip ahead now toward the end of it and we'll be able to move on. So once all of them are slain, you can go around and loot their bodies. They don't have a lot of good stuff, but if you go behind this table here, there is a gilded chest that has a little bit of gold and the least expected bow that does provide a bonus for when you are obscured. So if you're hiding and get kind of sneak attacks, it does a little bit of extra damage. So that could be kind of good for Astarion if you want to use them like that. Let's keep on going down this hallway. We will get the Gauntlet of Shar waypoint as we go across, and then we're going to continue on straight through this path due west, and we're going up these stairs where we're going to get into another battle after a cutscene. So make sure that you save the game at the top of the stairs and then proceed on.
Hurry inside, or your racket is liable to. Rancid donkey scrotum! The quakes herald the shadows. It's already too late.
Here's another fight that is very similar to the last one. More of these portals, they will just spawn. There's quite a few of them, so take them all out and then take out the enemies nearby. Luckily, you do have allies in this fight as well, so let's finish the fight and then continue on with this cutscene that starts automatically. This cutscene just shows us that the large door on the west side of this area has opened, so let's start heading in that direction. But before we go inside, we're going to open up the gilded chest that is found just to the right side of the door. Inside of that, there's going to be a little bit of gold, as well as something important, the elixir of necrotic resistance, and some other things. So let's grab all of those and then continue onward. We're going to go into the door, and then we'll get a cutscene with Balthazar when we get close to him.
Ah, the interloper. And in one piece as well. Not just any true soul would have succeeded in following my path through this place. You should be pleased.
Balthazar, I presume. Zrel sent me. She thinks you're in danger of failing your master.
General Thorn. Rubbish. Everything is at hand here. Zrel merely envies the General's faith in me. I am in the midst of a grand strategy. But you're here now, and I may be able to put those limbs to work. You know what's at stake here. I take it.
Zrel said Ketheric wants you to find a relic. That's all I know.
General Thorn to you. But yes, recovering the relic is the crux of it. He commands, and I, his humble servant, fulfill that command. While you, an infinitely more humble servant, fulfill my command. I will put you to work as a scout.
So you need my help. What would I have to do?
I do not need you or your help. But you are here in spite of that, so I may as well make use of you. The relic is close. but the way is barred and Shar's dead are uncooperative. Clear the path for me by blade, cunning, or whatever it takes. I will remain here until you have succeeded. Or fallen.
I'd trust this gas bag about as far as I can throw him, which isn't far. But perhaps better to play along, for now.
Rogue Persuasion. For jobs like this, it's good form to provide your operatives some extra resources. We get a skill check looking for a 10. Thanks to our innate bonuses, it's virtually impossible to screw this up unless we happen to roll a 1 and get a critical failure. So roll anything and then let's keep going.
Fine. I will assign Flesh to aid you on your way. Ring this bell, and he will come. My brother is no intellectual powerhouse, but he is strong, loyal, and punctual. Should a fight turn against you, remember the bell.
Take the bell.
Flesh will remain here until called. But don't fear, he has very sharp hearing. I chose his ears myself. Now, get to work.
Okay, we get the Summon Golem Bell. You can use this a little bit later. We're actually going to go over and get into a fight, and he's not a very strong character, so you can summon him. He'll do a little bit of damage, but mostly he acts as just a shield for us. We're going to continue back the way that we came. We're going to go toward the east now, and then run all the way back past where we were before. Keep running past the Gauntlet of Shar waypoint and continue up the stairs. We're coming back to the place where we had our initial fight against all of the undead here with the first portals that we had to defeat. We're going to keep going east and then go down the stairs on the opposite side of the room. When you get over here, you will see a displacer beast run off. Don't worry about this one for just now. We're going to just chase it as we go along. So hop over the broken stairs and then turn toward the left side and continue following that displacer beast along as we go into the room down and onto the right hand side. So the beast runs over there, and then we're going to go into the same room. Now, if you have the fake eye that we got from Volo, you'll be able to see the invisible enemies. There's a ton of guys in this next area. You definitely want to save in this area because there are a couple things that you can do. There's a way to get past this thing with having the boss of the area persuaded to kill themselves and everyone else in here, or you can fight them and get a little bit more experience. So as you walk along, you'll see all of these invisible enemies become visible. They're actually up top, on top of this area, but we're going to keep walking forward until we have a dialogue encounter with the boss of this place. So know that you can talk your way through this, but you can also fight the boss, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do.
What's this? Fresh entertainment? But you're too fresh for this place, aren't you? There's a whiff of the surface to you. A new arrival, then. You burrowed too deep, little rabbit.
Do nothing.
There's something else, almost hidden by your fear stink. Cherries. Musk. And sulfur. Raphael! I can smell him all over you. Where is he?
Wait, you know Raphael?
That perfume trickster swindled me. Trapped me.
There's no stopping you from leaving. I know a way out.
Ha! There's my word. I agreed to a contract, one that hasn't yet been fulfilled. Where is he? Spit it out. Now!
Tell him or don't. It doesn't matter, so long as you grant me the killing blow.
Let's share our experiences about Raphael. Perhaps we can help each other.
Bargaining, are you? A Karator warlord once tried the same. I made him watch, as Aeti's concubines in young, then fashioned a codpiece from his skull. Besides, I told you already, I'm bound to this place. Either I fulfill the contract, die trying, or forfeit my freedom. If I leave this place now, I'll become Raphael's slave.
The likes of you is frightened of a contract? I find that hard to swallow.
Maybe you'll find a crossbow bolt down your throat easier to manage.
You're hardly free as it is trapped here. Maybe you're better off indebted to Raphael.
You wouldn't say that if you truly knew his mind. Just listen to the terms he gave me. Spill all the blood sworn to the night. Silence all prayers. Smother each right. Wander Shar's halls, hungry to slay. Leave no justice here, alive to obey. Leave none to hear it, then be set free. This song is your oath. Swear it to me. Ah!
Well, that explains where all the Dark Justiciars went.
If you pass this insight check, that's when you get the ability to talk him into killing all the Maragons and then the Displacer Beast as pet, and ultimately himself if you pass a series of persuasion checks, but if you fail it, you have to continue on normally.
That's it.
Your contract is a song?
Parchment can burn. Oral agreements aren't worth the tongues they're waggled out upon. A song lingers. Raphael made double sure of that. I can't forget the damn thing so long as my word's not finished. I did as instructed, but the song still rattles about in my head. The contract still stands somehow. If I break it, I will become Raphael's slave forever. Anyway, enough prattle. The lyrics are clear. All who hear the song must die. Time to die.
There's a necromancer called Balthazar elsewhere in the temple. Perhaps he's the one you need to kill.
I caught the scent of that bloated carcass already. He's no more alive than the Dark Justiciars down here. No, he is not the answer. He is not my prey.
Persuasion. There must be something you missed. Let me search this place for you. And now we get a skill check looking for a 16. Still not very difficult, especially because we have a plus 10 in bonuses already. So let's roll that and then continue on.
I spent a century roaming these halls. I spilled every drop of Dark Justiciar blood that there was to spill. And you think you can do better? Go on then. I'll enjoy watching you fail. But try to run, and you will regret it. I may be trapped here, but I'm not without friends. If you break your word, they'll hunt you down and make your final moments a symphony of agony.
For that, we get an inspiration point for Astarion, but he isn't very happy with us right now, but that's okay, we can earn some more approval back. All we have to do is talk to him and make the right dialogue choice.
I hope you're not serious about helping that Hell's Beast. We made a deal with Raphael. His destruction for the secrets written on my back.
Don't worry, this is all part of the plan.
All right. If you say so.
These are just his normal dialogue options, so let's leave. The real reason that we didn't want to attack him outright is because if we talk to him, he will come down to the bottom part here, and now we can get into a nice advantageous battle with him. So if we hang out down here, we can go into hiding, and then we'll be able to use a sneak attack on him to start the fight off. So let's do that. He's going to take some nice damage right off the bat, and we're able to then get a surprise on on everyone around here. So we basically get one free turn to do a ton of damage, and if you play it right, you should be able to kill him on this one turn without him ever getting to attack us back. So now that we have Shadowheart, we're going to use Spirit Guardians. A lot of the foes around here are going to run toward us, and this is just a nice way to do some damage to them as they run close to us. So we've gotten Yurgir down to under half of his health at this point, and now we're going to continue the fight using our other characters. So let's move our monk a little bit closer. We can use his Flurry of Blows topple to do some nice damage, get him to fall down, and then continue on our attack. Lae'zel was very clear that she wanted the finishing blow, so I'm going to go over toward her, and then we're going to attack him, and we're going to finish the fight. So a really good first turn, and now that he's dead, we do get an inspiration point called Return to Sender. This is for Lae'zel. Also, you want to make sure that you loot his body, so we're going to go over here. It looks like just a big pile of ashes on the ground, but when we loot it, you'll see that there's the Hellfire Hand crossbow. That's a nice weapon, as well as the Infernal Metal that you can pick up. And we can use that for talking to Damon, and he can get us some new armor. So now we're just going to kind of go over here, try to hide in the corner. Hopefully no one can see us. Unfortunately, we're just in range of the enemy, so a little bit unfortunate. But this first round here does have everyone surprised. Now it all becomes a fight against the overwhelming numbers here. This would be a good time to use that summoning bell in order to get the golem to come and help you out if you wanted a little bit of help with this battle. I've done it that way before. He doesn't do a lot of damage. He only does about 4 damage per attack, but he can be a shield for you if you want it that way. Well, now that the fight's over, we're going to kind of continue on from this point, and you can see that we did get a level up here. So let's take a moment to go through our new levels. So starting off, we do have Masked Matador, our monk. He's now level 8, he gets some increased health as well as an additional key point, and we're going to now choose a feat. Let's choose ability improvement and give him a couple more points into strength. Because we have the Tavern Brawler as another feat, we're able to do lots of extra damage because that adds 2 times our strength into our attack. So this will help us to power up our normal attacks. Moving along, now we have Shadowheart becoming a level 8 cleric. We get a new feat as well, and we get some more health, a level 4 spell slot, and Divine Strike Poison. Once per turn, deal 1 to 8 poison damage in addition to your weapon's weapon damage when you make a melee attack. So a nice little boost to our damage. With our new feat, I'm going to scroll way down until I get to Spell Sniper. You learn a cantrip, and the number that you need to roll a critical hit with spells is reduced by 1. This effect can stack. So that's pretty cool. And now we're going to assign our cantrip. There's a couple good choices that you can use. All of them are pretty good, but I'm going to go with the second one on the list called Eldritch Blast. It does 1 to 10 damage, and it can attack multiple times, so you can actually choose 2 different enemies to attack at once. That's good if you want to pick off a couple of weaker enemies. You can actually get 2 kills for the price of 1 cantrip. And remember, with cantrips, they don't cost one of your spell slots, it just costs an action, so it's an economical way to do some damage at a distance without using any spell slots at all. Speaking of spell slots, make sure that you arrange your prepared spells in your spellbook to whatever you want, and then let's continue on. Next up on our list, we have Lae'zel. She is a level 8 fighter. We, of course, got some more health and a new feat. As far as the feat goes, let's go down a little bit until we get to the Great Weapon Master. What that does is when we land a critical hit or kill a target with a melee attack, then we can make another melee attack with a bonus action that turn. So that's a really nice bonus for us. If we get a kill or a critical hit, we basically get another free attack that turn. So let's go ahead and learn that one. The other thing that you can do with this, you can toggle this on or off, but you can choose to have increased melee damage at the expense of lower accuracy. So kind of a risk or reward thing. If you get this a little bit too early, you'll probably be missing way more than what it's worth, but if you do need to hit an enemy really hard, then you can toggle that on and do some good damage if it hits. Also, Astarion is a level 8 rogue. We do get a feat with him, so let's scroll down until we can get to Sharpshooter. Your range attacks do not receive penalties from high ground rules, so even if you're on the low ground, you're not going to get penalized for it. And ranged weapon attacks with weapons you are proficient with have a -5 to attack rolls, so once again, a little less accuracy for more damage if you want to go that route. That one is also toggleable, just like the Great Weapon Master. Well, once they're done with this fight against all of those creatures, if you do run over here, you can open up this chest. So let's do that. There's going to be the Boots of Brilliance. That's going to be a piece of Bard equipment if you want that, and just some gold. We're going to head back over to where we fought all these guys, and if you look at the top of the stairs, there's going to be a glowing purple orb over there. Let's go ahead and pick that up. That's going to be an Umbral Gem. With that in hand, we are making progress toward collecting all 4 of them that we need to get through this place. And now we're just going to go back the way we came, back toward where we fought that first battle in here with the different orbs, and at that point, we're going to continue just a little bit further than that so that we can get to where the different trials within the Gauntlet of Shar take place. There are 3 different trials, and I'll show you the best and easiest way that I have found that you can do that. So on the way there, we do have this pedestal here. Let's go ahead and talk to it though, so that we can learn what it's all about.
On the altar is an inscription. Brave the gauntlet of your Lady Shar, surmount her trials, and rise a dark justiciar.
The Gauntlet of Shar. This place is legendary. Even with half my memories locked away, I still remember the stories. The Dark Lady's finest warriors arose from this place. Now I'm here.
What are these trials, Shadowheart?
In order to join Lady Shar's elite, you had to pass her trials, then make a sacrifice in her innermost sanctum. One revealed only when you've proven yourself. Very few made it that far. I've dreamed of this place. This is my destiny. I must complete the trials.
Feel free to talk to her more if you want to, otherwise just choose alright, I'll help if I can.
Thank you. If I become a Dark Justiciar, I'll have Lady Shar's highest blessing and her arsenal at my disposal. This will be good for all of us. Let's explore.
To get to the trials, all you have to do is turn around, go up the stairs, and then go over toward the right. We're heading back the direction toward Balthazar, but we don't have to go nearly as far, because when you get down the stairs right by the Gauntlet of Shar waypoint, all you have to do is turn toward the right-hand side, and then start running down the stairs. When you get to the bottom, there's going to be a couple doors on the left-hand side. So what you want to do is to go through the first door on your left. It's the bulky door. And once you get inside, you'll be able to see what the challenge is. So go in. This is called the Soft Step Trial. And as you run forward, you'll see this sacrificial bowl over here. Let's go ahead and use that.
The bowl contains an ancient rust-colored bloodstain. It forms a neat disc, as if spilled calmly and willingly.
This is one of Lady Shar's trials. Allow me. It's important.
If you allow her to do it, you gain some favor with her. Otherwise, if you do it, then you will lose favor with her. If she is the leader of your party, you do not gain favor if she's the one who initiates the sacrificial bowl. In order to complete this easily, I would switch over to Astarion and then separate him from the rest of the party. Go through the door all the way on the right-hand side. All you have to do is walk straight toward the end of it, and there's going to be a button on the right-hand side just before this wall. Once you interact with the button, the wall will drop down, allowing you to go straight in. If one of the enemies sees you, they will teleport you out of this area, not a big deal, but if you can successfully hide from them, keep going to the end of the hall, turn left to go up the stairs. There's going to be the wrought iron gate here. Let's lockpick this. It only has a skill check looking for a 10, so it's very easy to do as long as we do not roll a 1. So we were able to get through this no problem, and then we can go straight on through. There's going to be an Umbral Gem on this little pedestal that's in front of us, so go ahead and grab that and then use the Umbral Transporter, and that's going to take us right back out where we came from. So now we're back with the rest of our party. We can regroup and then continue on from here. Well, once the gang's all back together, you'll want to then go back out into the main hallway and turn toward the left-hand side. Keep running north along this hallway past this table, and then the left side you're going to see another door. At this point you want to separate Shadowheart from your party, and then you'll be controlling her to go up into the bulky door. Make sure your other 3 party members are left outside the bulky door, then go into the self-flame trial area and use the sacrificial bowl.
Another bowl bearing the stains of an ancient blood offering. Another of Lady Shar's trials that her initiates must face. This one would challenge their combat prowess.
Offer your blood in Shar's name. The trial doors will now open, allowing us to go inside. If there's only one of you in this area, it's going to be a one-on-one fight. However, if you have more party members in this area, you'll also have to fight clones of those characters as well. Let's go up the side here, just going up the left-hand side, and as you get closer, you can start to use your Spirit Guardians, and that spell will allow us to do damage if we get close to our clone. Continuing up the stairs, eventually we'll be spotted and we'll be surprised, battle will commence, and we'll have to fight just one copy of Shadowheart. So it's really good just to 1v1 this clone. It's pretty easy to take her out. So we're just going to go up here and get close, let our Spirit Guardians do a lot of the work for us if possible, and we'll just attack as best as we can. So use a Firebolt or Eldritch Blast or anything that you really have available to you just to do some damage. And now that we're a little bit closer, we can close the gap, and we're going to then do some good damage with our Spirit Guardians, and that will be enough just to take her out. So we did complete the inspiration point called Know Thine Enemy. This is for Lae'zel, and there's going to be an Umbral Gem on the ground up here. So let's go ahead and grab that one, and we're able to use the Umbral Transporter in this area to teleport ourselves back out. So that is 2 of the 3 trials in the Gauntlet of Shar completed. Now all we have to do is head down the stairs in order to get to the last one. So now we're going to just regroup our party once again, and then keep heading just a little bit toward the north side, and then start going down the stairs. It's going to wind around, and you're going to find another room at the bottom of the stairs, and that's going to have the 3rd trial from the Gauntlet of Shar. Let's now keep running straight ahead and down into this door. This is called the Faith Leap trial. Walk forward, and there's going to be another one of those ancient altars in front of you, so let's use it.
Another bowl bearing the stains of an ancient blood offering.
Another trial. Allow me, please.
Once again, we'll let Shadowheart do it, so choose Go On. And then you can press Continue. For this trial, you're going to have to walk along a certain path that isn't visible to you to go from where you are now all the way to the far west side of the room. And what you can do is you can look at the ground in front of you to see where the path is, because on the ground right where Astarion is, you can see the path laid out for you in the tiles. I like to use Lae'zel as the main character and also separate her from the rest of the group. go toward the right stairs, and then just walk straight ahead until you get to the circle on the right-hand wall. Then walk toward the left until you get to the middle of the area, and then walk straight up from here until you fall down. That will teleport you over toward the spot on the left-hand side. And from here, what we want to do is to then jump over until we can get to the center platform. She has an amazing jump ability that allows us to just bypass most of the puzzle and get all the way over here. From here, go over toward the right corner and then walk up a few steps, then left toward the middle, a few steps up from there, and then we're going to jump all the way up and onto the far platform. That is where we're going to find the last of the Umbral Gems that we need. So once we're up here, go ahead, grab that Umbral Gem, and then we can once again use the Umbral Transporter. We do get another one of the inspiration points completed called In Her Footsteps, and that is for Shadowheart. So now we have 4 of those Umbral Gems, and we're good to go from here. Make sure the party is all put together again, and then head on out the door and over toward the right-hand side. We're going to go into the next door on our right. That takes us down into the Silent Library because we have to go into here, kill some enemies, and then we're going to also solve a little puzzle to get a weapon that we need to continue on. What I like to do is to bring Astarion in and just do some hiding, and what we want to do is to take out the enemies as best we can. Thanks to our new feat, that sharpshooter, we're able to do more damage when we land hits, and we do have quite the advantage because we are sneaking and hiding through here. You can basically take out almost all the enemies in this area without even being seen. You might have to just fight one of the last ones as a group, but take them all out, as well as the orb in the bottom. Once they're all gone, you want to run back up toward the entrance of the area, and then on the left-hand side, there's going to be a couple bookcases over here. Be warned that they are trapped, so make sure to disarm them first, and then once they're disarmed, you want to inspect them so that you can see what the contents are inside. There's going to be the Teachings of Loss, the Night Singer book. Make sure you don't just read it, but also take it with you, because we're going to need it to solve the puzzle. So with the book in hand, we're going to run down to the bottom and then straight ahead toward this iron portcullis. Make sure you gather the party up again, and then we're going to pick the lock on this so that we can go inside of it. It is a little bit tough. It is looking for a 21, but luckily we do have quite a few bonuses on our side, and we'll use an advantage as well, and that should pretty much guarantee that we should get through here as long as we don't have some kind of garbage roll. Well, now that it's been unlocked, we're going to lower this, and then we can walk kind of straight ahead toward the pedestal in the middle. So go through here. There is a trap, but you don't have to worry too much about this. Interact with the Riddle of the Night, and you'll be able to insert that book that we picked up, the Teachings of Loss, the Night Singer. Once that's been properly inserted, it's going to then lower the statue in front of you, and you're able to go through that door. There's going to be a statue just ahead of you, as well as a spear here. This is called the Spear of Night. Go ahead and pick that up. Okay, and because I'm a guild artisan, I also get the Maid of Shadows inspiration complete. There is a gilded chest back here with a Dark Justiciar helmet. You can grab that if you want to. It's not really important for anything, but it is a new piece of armor that you can either wear if you want, or you can just sell it for some more gold. So now that we're all done with this, we're going to head out of the Silent Library out the way that we came. So just run straight toward the east, and then when we get outside, we're going to turn toward the right, and we're going to take a shortcut back up to the upper part of the area. Inside this area, there's going to be an elevator with a lever. Make sure everyone's standing on the circle, and then use the lever to raise yourself back up toward the entrance of this area. And from here, we just have to go back to where that altar was in the center. We're going to start placing gems into it, and that will act as an elevator, taking us to a different part of this Gauntlet of Shar area. This is the area that we had the first battle against the undead with those black orbs. And from here, we're going to go down toward the north, and there's going to be this altar here. Let's use the ancient altar to insert the item that we need, and that's going to be one of the Umbral Gems that we've collected. So once it's inserted, then a platform will move closer to us, and we'll get an automatic cutscene with Shadowheart.
Wait,
What's wrong?
nothing. Nothing's wrong at all.
What's going on? Tell me.
It's fine. Really. I just feel we're on the right track. I'm right where I need to be. Under Lady Shar's gaze.
Okay, now let's go over toward that platform, make sure that everyone is standing on it, and then you'll want to interact with the traversal gem to start moving.
This must lead to the next part of Shar's Gauntlet.
Once you're at the bottom, move forward, and then there's going to be 3 slots in the ancient altar to put your other Umbral Gems. It just so happens that each one of my characters was holding one of them. Now you might have more than one on a character, depending on who you used for certain things. So just make sure that you insert all 3 of your remaining Umbral Gems into the ancient altar, and then that will allow you to proceed on even further down into the Gauntlet of Shar.
What now? Let's see.
Now, because we're a guild artisan, we also got the Dark Machinations inspiration point completed, and we're going to be able to continue on through the now open stone door. Let's keep running all the way down until we get to the bottom part here, and then we're going to get another cutscene. There is a waypoint on the way in case you need to do some traveling. When we get down into this next area, that will change the game forever. So be careful going through here. This is the last point of no return before the game changes.
Must be the last step. I need to pray. Only by Lady Shar's grace did we even make it this far.
She won't like it if you try to feel it inside of her mind, so just leave her to her prayers.
All right. No need to dash in ahead of me. I'm ready.
Onwards then. Alright, when you're ready, interact with the Shadowfell entrance.
Your party is gathered. You are ready, or so you hope.
Here's our point of no return warning. As soon as we go down into the Shadowfell, we can no longer go into any of the Act 1 areas. So be prepared for that. When you're ready to go, then let's head down into the Shadowfell.
As you step into the silent water, a foreign dread travels through you. It curls its way up your leg, squeezing tight.
Lady Shar. I can feel her all around. This is her domain. This is the Shadowfell.
You cleared the way for me, true soul. What promising flesh you are. As a reward, I shall let you bear witness to my masterpiece.
This is the Dark Lady's domain. He does not belong here.
I cleared the way to this place, not you. Why shouldn't I just kill you instead of letting you interfere?
Raise one finger to me, and I'd sunder you like lightning would a rotten oak. Now, enough dullard questions. Follow me.
We're now in a new area called Nightsong's prison. We're going to run through here. We naturally do not take any fall damage through here, kind of like when we were in the astral plane, and we can jump very far to these other platforms. So let's just go ahead. There's nothing of interest that you really need to do in here or anything that you need to pick up. So run all the way and then jump down toward the bottom as you go along. We're now almost at the bottom. Right where we are now, a few enemies will be spawning in soon, so you might want to leave one character back there intentionally just to fight them. Otherwise, head down to the cutscene.
Balthazar, come to add more bars to my cage? Or perhaps to lead this would-be Justicia's blade directly to my heart? I invite you. Heap more sins upon your head. My retribution will be all the sweeter for them.
All this time, and you still fail to appreciate the gifts I bestowed on you, Aelin. Sad to see a thing of beauty not recognize its own worth. But General Thorm, he appreciates you, and he wants you close at hand. So, I am here to whisk you back to him.
Ketherick. I welcome the sight of him after these 100 years. He whose immortality I supply with my very soul.
General Thorm. I'm sure you'll be on your best behavior for him, but just in case, I've taken some precautions. Keep back. It will take quite some concentration to secure Aelin for her little journey.
I can't let you take her, Balthazar.
I can do whatever I want. She is mine. An Aasimar bound to a soul cage of my creation, lending her immortal strength to General Thorm. Her power, his will, and my genius. An unsurpassable feat.
Ramblings most unsane. Poor Balthazar. The maggots ate his brain long ago.
Hold your tongue, Aelin, or I'll take it away from you again. And you, no more questions. No more interference.
If she's the reason Ketherick Thorm is invulnerable, you're not taking her. Leave or you're a dead man.
Dead man? You haven't been paying attention, have you? Perhaps I'll revive your carcass and add you to my retinue. Then you'll have all the time in the world to think on your mistakes.
And we are put into a fight with a lot of enemies. We are severely outnumbered. I mean, just look at the top of the screen. All of those red characters versus the 4 of us. But luckily, we have Shadowheart on our side, who has Spirit Guardians, and that will allow her to basically kill anything that runs toward us. And a lot of these things are just kind of mindless thralls that attack us. The Apostate Destroyer right next to us is definitely a big threat, as well as anything that's nearby to us. If you'll notice, we're standing very near to the edge of a cliff, and the enemy might run over and push us off the cliff for an instant kill. So the same way that we can push an enemy off the cliff to kill them instantly, they can do that to us. So just be careful about that, and what you want to do is just run around here with Spirit Guardians and take out a lot of the enemies as you get close to them. You definitely want to have Shadowheart out in front of the rest of your party, so that way everything has to run toward her as the closest character, and that will allow them to basically be destroyed coming to you, or if they're not dead outright, then they're just going to take a lot of damage. So make sure that you take out the enemies closest to you and then start working your way out from there. There's actually enemies on the high ground behind us and straight ahead of us, and then over on the other side of the Nightsong, past that glowing circle in the middle, there's going to be some more up top there. So they've got some basic archers, they've got some melee characters, and some wizard characters as well. So kind of a wide assortment of enemies that we have to fight through, but they're not too difficult. We'll just work together as a team, sticking close together for the most part, and then once the main threat nearby us has been dealt with, then we'll start to spread out and take out the rest of them. Now, Balthazar is pretty annoying in this fight too. If you do keep your guys clumped up like what I do right now, then he can start to cause some problems for you by casting spells like Cloud Kill that just puts a large cloud of poison gas on the ground. All you really have to do is run out of it though to avoid the more disastrous effects. You'll take a little bit of damage right away, but you will be able to escape it just by running out of the same area. So I'm going to kind of skip ahead at this point toward the end of this fight because there's not a whole lot to talk about besides what I've already shared. It is an interesting fight, it just takes a while to get through, but ultimately it's not that bad. Alright, so here we go. I skipped ahead about 7.5 minutes, and that will take us to the end of the fight. Once you finish the battle, make sure you go around and loot all of the bodies from the enemies. They've got some interesting stuff. If you were to loot Balthazar, you will find that he has the Circle of Bones. It's an accessory that allows you to animate the undead, and it allows you to grant them physical resistance. So now that you've gotten everything, let's go over and talk to the Nightsong.
Balthazar has drawn his final rancid breath. A pity it was not my hand that brought it about. Instead, it was you. You, who have come to seek the praise of your wicked goddess. You, who have come to drive a dagger through my heart.
Not a dagger, a spear. My Lady Shar's spear. Her fate is mine to seal. Let me handle this.
The fate you seal is your own. To be a Dark Justicia is to turn your heart from everything but loss. You will know no love, no joy, only servitude, until of course your mistress inevitably discards you. And there is much she does not tell you. A terrible blood price that may extend beyond my own death.
You feel Shadowheart bristling. This is important to her. But your bond is strong. You may yet be able to sway her from the path of duty to the path of light. And Nightsong is not blind to your conflict. Behind that raging heart is the restless beat of one who knows too well that her fate hangs in the balance.
Is this truly what you want?
Yes, I think so. My whole life's been leading to this. No turning back now.
You absolutely may not let Shadowheart kill the Nightsong, but we're going to, for now, say, do as you must.
Well, well, well. What's that I sense? A spear intended for my heart? Empowered by your goddess, empowered to kill the child of a god. Do you know what I am, little assassin? For I know you. A lost child, frightened by wolves in the dark.
What did you say?
Much has been promised to you, hasn't it? But what has been taken from you? What do you know of your own heart? Your own life? I sense more in you than you know.
Whatever you think you know of me won't matter once I become who I'm meant to be.
Again, do not let her kill the Nightsong. So in this case, we're going to say, she knows something about you. Spare her and see what she has to say.
I can't believe I just did that. Lady Shar will disown me. What will happen to me?
Not what will happen. What will you do? Your past is not yet lost. Your future is not yet fixed. Lay a hand on me in friendship, not quite Sharon. And I will fight the battle that has been waiting for me this last century. Then, oh then, we will have much to discuss. Our Lady of Silver, hear me. She who guides the Moon Maiden Selûne, mother of the so-called Nightsong. The Nightsong is no more! You have given me a great gift, little warrior. Don't you find it oh so curious that you would spurn your Dark Lady? Perhaps you feel a stirring of the truth already. But that will come later. There is a battle yet to be fought. You have done what we feared was impossible. You have released me from a century of sorrow. Your power is great. So too must be your weapon. You must choose what you will wield. And the Moon Maiden will provide. Thus I have said. Thus will it be so. Are you ready?
For my weapon? Naturally.
Oh, and it shall be yours. And then, we're going to kill Ketheric Thorn.
We need to leave. Lady Shar won't stand for us to be here, not after what we did.
Alright, let's get out of here.
I'm not sure there's a place that's far enough away for me to go. Lady Shar must be angry. But there's only silence. Let's get out of here, please. Whatever's coming, I don't want to be in the heart of the Shadowfell when it finds me. The Nightsong will be headed for Moonrise Towers. We'd better get there and see what she's unleashed against Ketheric Thorn.
Well chosen, Shadowheart.
We also get a new weapon as a reward, so let's check that out. It's called the Moonlight Glaive. It does some decent damage, and it also is always glowing in a radius of 6 meters. So it's not quite as good as the Blood of Lathander, but it's also a very good weapon on its own. So the choice is yours whether you want to switch it out or give it to a different character. But when we're all ready, let's go ahead and leave the Shadowfell for once and for all.
Forgive me.
Shadowheart, what happened? You were missing for a moment.
I thought I was done for. I thought perhaps I might have been dead. This is all like some sort of terrible dream. But it's real, isn't it? I stood before the Nightsong. I heard Lady Shar's words. And I failed her. Worse than failed her, I defied her. Just because of what that Aasimar said. I tried to leave. But Shar blocked me. Punished me for failing her. I thought I knew the limit of pain that the incurable wound could inflict, but I had no idea. It felt like I was suffering the agony of 1,000 people all at once. My blood was boiling, my hair was on fire. I thought I'd claw my own face off with the pain. But then she released me. Banished me, more like. She said I was an outcast. That all of her children would know me and revile me.
Shadowheart looks distraught, abandoned by her goddess and all former allies. And as for her divine magic, admitting who empowers her now may break her spirit for good.
If it's any consolation, I think you did the right thing.
You're lucky to have such confidence. Me. I think the full price of what I've done has yet to reveal itself. I'm a target to Lady Shar's followers now. Nightsong promised she'd tell me something about myself. I need to speak with her as soon as I can. What she said to me back in the Shadowfell about the wolves, that's no coincidence. She took flight to hunt down Ketheric Thorm. All I can do is help hasten his demise, and hope that answers soon follow.
There's nothing more that we really need to say to her at this point, so go ahead and leave if you want.
When the chance arises, I must speak to Nightsong again. Whatever she claims to know, it may just help me make sense of everything.
Alright, that's going to do it for part 23. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure that you hit that like button and also comment and subscribe if you want to see more. We'll be wrapping up Act 2 very soon and moving into Act 3, so you're not going to want to miss it. So until next time, have a good day.